So between the two, I am going to have to say I prefer. Hi, let's talk about thermoplastic adhesives, known better as Cushion Grip and Denttach. Which thermoplastic adhesive is the best? Let's do a little comparison. So, thermoplastic adhesives are like a soft reline from your dentist. If your dentures are becoming loose, your dentist can do a reline for you. But if you can't get in to see your dentist, if your gum profile is changing a lot, maybe because you're early in your denture journey, or if you've had your dentures a long time, your dentist no longer provides complimentary adjustments, you might want to try an at-home thermoplastic reline. So I'm talking about something like Cushion Grip or Denttach. These are probably the two most popular brands on the market, easy to obtain. Which one's better? Kind of depends on what you're looking for, but actually there are a lot of similarities. So let's start with Cushion Grip. Cushion Grip comes in a 1-ounce tube. There's a handy dandy key to wind the tube to help get the product out. The instructions have pictures to follow along with. They're easy to read. Denttach comes in a 0.71 ounce tube. That's not quite 3/4 of an ounce. It comes with a key to help wind the tube to get the product out. The instructions contain pictures. They're easy to read. How do the two of them compare? If you're in the United States, the Cushion Grip is cheaper. This 1-ounce tube is currently priced at $13.99 online. By comparison, a 0.71 ounce tube of Denttach costs $12.99. The tube is $1 less, but it's about 3/4 as much product. Cushion Grip is made in the United States. Denttach is made in Italy. The primary ingredient in both is polyvinyl acetate, which is thermoplastic. Thermoplastic is a plastic that you can heat up and it becomes malleable. Once it cools off, it hardens. So they're pretty similar in those regards. Cushion Grip is kind of an orange color. Denttach is pink, but again, they're very close as far as the colors go. Let's talk about what's different. I have used both. The Denttach was a little bit easier to apply. The instructions say to try to squeeze it out of the tube at room temperature and to only put it in warm water if you can't easily get it out. It's so much nicer to just open up the container and dispense some. I also noticed with the Denttach that it seemed to cure a little bit faster. When I put my dentures in, gave it a couple of hours, and then took the dentures out to see how the product looked, the Denttach was almost completely cured for the initial curing. Cushion Grip was about maybe halfway cured. So the Cushion Grip took a little bit longer to firm up, and I did have to put the tube in hot water to get it soft enough to be able to dispense. Now these are really minor differences. After both of these cured, the Cushion Grip was a little softer. The Denttach got firmer and stayed firmer. Where I really noticed it was with my top denture. When I would put in my top denture with the Denttach, it felt much more solid, like a hard reline, where I had to pop them in. I had that moment of having to like squeeze them on. A split second of discomfort putting a rigid denture in my mouth, but it held very well. The cushion grip was a little bit softer of a hold, but not much. We are talking splitting hairs almost, but it was a little bit softer. The product manufacturer says Denttach lasts up to 7 days, cushion grip lasts up to 4 days. Kind of helps balance out the price a little, but again, it's a minor difference. When you get right down to it, the two of them are very close. So if you want to try a thermoplastic adhesive and you're not sure which one, I recommend whichever one is more accessible where you live and whichever one is less expensive. They're both good products. You'll get good results. A thermoplastic adhesive, it's called an adhesive, but it's not sticky like a paste. It's like a soft reline on your denture. As your denture becomes loose over time, this is meant to help fill the gaps. Both products were easy to remove after they had cured. I made the mistake the first time I tried using a thermoplastic adhesive. I used cushion grip. It got all oozy in the front because I applied too much. So I pulled the denture out and tried to remove the adhesive, and when it was still freshly applied, still wet, before it had cured, it was a little work to get it off. As soon as it dried, as soon as it cured, it peeled right off, both of them. Soak your denture in hot water or run it under hot water, peel it off. If you have little nooks and crannies, grab a pair of tweezers to help get them out. Denttach was a little bit easier to apply. Cushion grip remains softer and it's cheaper. Both of these tubes are going to last a while. You can get several uses out of each. If I had to come right down to which one I liked better, I might give cushion grip a slight edge because it's less expensive and it's quicker and easier to get because I live in the USA and it's manufactured in the USA. If you live outside the USA, check them both. See which one's easier for you to get. Compare the cost. Denttach has made a lot of user-friendly improvements in the last year or so. They've changed the packaging so it's a more conventional box. It used to come in a fancy tube container, and changing the packaging made it less expensive. You may have also seen craft thermoplastic beads. They might be marketed as moldable beads, thermoplastic beads. Get an 8-ounce bag for $13, $14. Package says they're reusable. Don't use craft thermoplastic beads to line your denture. Here's the issue. Cushion grip, Denttach, any of the products specifically made for dentures are food safe. A food safe plastic means the manufacturing process did not contain any poisonous, hazardous, or carcinogenic plastics or ingredients. Craft products are not held to the same standard because they're not intended to be put in the mouth or ingested. When craft thermoplastic beads are made, they tumble around to polish them into that bead shape, and they use certain chemicals that might leave a residue that's harmful if ingested, because they're not intended to be put in your mouth. So if you look online or at a craft store for a thermoplastic bead, you're going to see it's a lot cheaper than thermoplastic adhesive, but I do not recommend using it on your denture. Stick to products that are manufactured to be food safe. You don't want to introduce foreign chemicals into your mouth or bacteria. These are safer. They're more hygienic. They're made to be used for dentures. So I guess the summary is, don't use craft thermoplastics. Do use thermoplastic adhesives. They're great products. If your dentures become a little bit loose, takes a couple of hours of curing. Very easy to use, and they'll last for several days. I hope your denture journey is going well, and I hope we talk again soon. I wonder what would happen if I mixed the two. We'll talk again soon.